Alright, everyone, after a bit of a shorter intermission there, we are ready with Snow Brothers by GhostSenpai. Ghost, take it away.
Alright, well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and any kind of existing form. My name is GhostSenpai, and this is one of my. Okay, I don't know how to say this. Hold on. Probably one of my flagship games in speedrunning, which is Snow Brothers. It's obviously not what we're looking for. This is just a random NES ROM I have found on the internet 3 a.m. because why not? This is a real game that I'm going to be playing. And I said this is one of my most recognized games in speedrunning. Talking about when people see this game on any event, they associate the game with me is because I used to run this game a lot. And probably this is one of my best speed games, which is Snow Brothers. This is a port for the NES of an arcade game released in 1990. This port is from 1991. There were some differences between this and the arcade version, mostly due to console limitations. And for a lot of people in Latin America, because I'm from Mexico, a lot of people in Latin America used to feel a big amount of nostalgic value against this game, with this game, mostly with the arcade version. But in my case, it was with the NES version, as this was the version of the game that I used to play a lot when I was a kid. So let's start with the run, okay? I'm gonna make the countdown from 3. I'm gonna reset really quick my console and start my countdown. So I'm gonna start from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, first things first, what I used to do here at the beginning of the game is something I like to call position manipulation. It's gonna look like if I'm playing the game normally, but the truth is that I am setting up the position of the enemies, because in other video games you are used that the enemies are based mostly on RNG or on cycles, but in this game, depending on your position, depending on where you're moving, it will affect the position of the enemy. So I'm trying to do this on my side to get a manipulation here in the second stage that I'm able to showcase that to show that I was able to do this. What I was trying to do is that I was setting up the position of the enemies, because as you have seen, the way to defeat them is to turn them into a snowball, then throw the snowball, and if a random snowball touches an enemy, the enemy is gonna fly through the stage, and once it lands, it's gonna turn into an item. So I was looking the red potion, which is the one that I got in the second stage. The red potion makes us going faster, and this is probably important. Well, this is the most important potion of the game, because as you have seen in the first stage, our character movement, it's pretty slow. So with the red potion, we can save a lot of time with the movement, because it gets boosted by a lot. And well, on the first stage I got the yellow potion, which also I got here in the fifth stage. The yellow potion just increases your shooting range. Right now I'm lacking from the blue potion, which is another important potion, but if you don't have it, it's fine. You can deal with a lot of stuff in the game anyways. But the blue potion increases our shooting power. You can see I was able to get it here on stage 6. Talking about backup routes and starting that kind of stuff, stage 6 is like the last backup stage you have to get the potion. Otherwise, you should reset the game, because completing the game without the red and blue potion, it's not fast enough. So on a top level, usually if you don't get the yellow potion on the third stage, then you reset the game. But in this case, since we're on a marathon, that doesn't care so much. And well, this is something interesting. I consider that it's really amazing that this happened during the run. So what happened here is that there are some specific stages where a face bonus item can appear. If that happens, the background is going to turn black and white, and then alternative enemies are going to appear. And if you defeat them, you can get one of the snow letters. There are 4 in total. If you get snowboard, you're gonna get a 1-up. I'm gonna explain why I got that in a little bit. For right now, let's focus on this boss fight. Some months ago, I learned that the bosses have names, but that's not really relevant. And well, this guy just 6 hits and you're done. As you have seen, a really easy boss. Not a big deal to defeat or something like that. And well, that was the first lot of it. There's a total of 50 stages in the game. We're going to be playing through all of them as the name of the category suggests, which is all stages, one player. All stages because we play all the 50 stages. Because there's a way to skip some stages. This is something exclusive to the NES version. This is not available on the arcade nor other ports of the game. Just the NES version has a bonus item that helps us to skip some stages, and well, that's not a percent on this version of. Well, that's only percent on this version of the game. But on this category, I'm not allowed to take those skips, which is good because it's not really relevant the way that you skip stages. And I feel personally that the LCS category is more attractive. Also, on the leaderboard, there are more rounds in this category for the same reason. Because the way that you skip stages is like the bonus that we have seen, that I haven't explained at the end. I'm really glad that I jumped there, otherwise I was gonna die. Because usually that blue tornado enemy uses to throw knives. And I felt that he was gonna do that, because it's pretty common for him if you can come from the left section of the screen. It's the chances to get a knife are high, so I'm glad that I jumped at the correct moment and I avoided it. Otherwise, it's gonna be something bad. But anyway, with that, I'm able to finish the game under estimate. Something I forgot to mention to the managers of the Merton, and I'm really sorry about that, is that my estimate is 22 minutes, not 24. But just in case that the run goes really bad, this can be at 24. But let's see what can happen later in the game. So going back to what I was saying, stage 8, the bonus item just appeared on a hand of stages, on specific stages. One of them was the stage 8 or floor 8, whatever you want to call it, because the game switches between floor and stage. Trying to refer to this, but that's another thing that it's not really relevant to mention. But getting back to that bonus item, there are ways to avoid them, because in some stages it's kind of tricky to get it, but in other ones like stage 8, it's really easy. But it's not supposed that I defeated the enemies from the left to the right, because if I do that, the chances to get the bonus item are high. That's why I used to do that from the right to the left, and it was weird that the face bonus appeared. And okay, I got a dropped input here, so strats are gonna change a little bit. This is not what I was trying to do. This is what I was trying to do, so, well, I'm losing time against this boss, but it's fine, I don't care. So with this guy, 6 or 7 hits and then you're done. Oh. You just need a single hit and then we're done. There we go. And this boss fight was slightly low, but what I was trying to do that once you once you touch the floor, once you appear on stage, you have some invisibility frames. So I was gonna use that on my side to reach, to get as close as possible to the enemies and to the boss, to beat this big frog, and then freeze the bombs that was throwing to me, and use that to hit the boss. But oh, I'm glad that nothing awful happened. I have lost a little amount of time, but memes at the end of the day. No, something that was not something to worry about, but got it. Also, something that this game has is that most of the stuff that can be explained about mechanics and kind of things are pretty complicated to say when you're doing the run. Because on the first stages, everything happens fast, and those are the stages where you can explain a lot of things. These are mostly the relaxing stages, where you can take a small break from commentary, or when you're on a short debate marathon, you can let the host to make any announcement related to the event. But here at the Mediocres 1, I hope that I pronounced that correctly. We are doing this for fun, which is really cool. It has been a long time since I was part of a marathon for fun, or well, a showcase-based marathon, non-charting. And really, I feel that it's really cool and nice because you don't have the pressure of doing this for a charity, but you're trying to do this for fun, and it's really nice to have the opportunity of being showcased on this kind of events. Also, this big sumo guy, it just disappears when you defeat the rest of enemies, and that's everything. You don't need to worry about nothing else. And also, for those big platforms, you can see you need to jump over a snowball to reach them. So, on this next floor, this next stage, floor 28, it's a bit tricky to put this because, well, in order to keep jumping, what do you need? Oh god, oh god, oh god. There we go. This was something really amazing. I'm glad that this happened during the marathon. I hope that this kind of things also happen during my runs because I used to lose a good amount of time with that kind of things. But these blue enemies, just as we have seen before, throw knives, but also they turn into a tornado after some seconds and try to during that phase they try to chase you. And when they're on a tunnel pace, you cannot make damage to them. Okay, the birds. Probably the first problematic boss. 3 hits and we are done. I have made it 3 hits, but the bird hasn't disappeared. I'm gonna explain in a bit why that happened. It has a reason. Because it's not supposed that you can defeat the bird as I have done here. Oh, okay, anyways. Once you can defeat the first bird, it's something good, but then trying to do some stuff, it's a bit complicated. I'm pretty sure that I should have defeated that bird. Okay, there we go. So it's supposed that when you make 3 hits to these birds, they disappear. But after I hit the first bird 3 times in a row, it did disappear because the way that this game works is a little weird. And also, this bonus gamble machine is something exclusive to the NES version. And now I got something really bad here. Because if you get a 1-up, as we have seen, something good, you get a 1-up. But the bad part of this is that you also get 50k points, and the most points you get on this on that gambling machine, the most time you're gonna lose. If you get the 1-up, you get a life with the snow word, that doesn't matter. Each letter gives you 10,000 points, and a cross gives you nothing, so the best thing to get is just 3 crosses. It's a bit tricky to do. And there's a way to manipulate that and get the crosses, but that manipulation is just slow, so it's not something worth to do. And while going back to the birds, the way that the snowballs works is a bit weird. Because depending about the distance you take to defeat them, oh come on! I cannot believe it didn't work. But anyways, this is gonna be like a 20 or 21. So we're still being good. Because I try to, as I mentioned before, every time you start the stage, you get some invincibility frames. So you can use that on your side to try to get closer to some enemies. But looked like the game simply decided to ignore that, or probably I was slow with my movements, and I reached the enemies when the invisibility phase finished. So usually just completing the. If you reach the birds, if you reach the 3rd boss stage without the potions, is something problematic. So at least I'm glad that I was able to defeat the 3rd boss. Well, that I was able to defeat the birds with all the 3 potions. Now you can see how slow the game is with this, but this is why also I still having a decent estimate. My PB is 1830 if I remember correctly, or 1811. It's been a long time since I haven't got it. And well, I have lost another life on probably one of the dumbest ways possible, but that blue enemy, that tornado guy is really annoying. But what else we can do against it? We just need to deal with it, and that's everything. And there's nothing else we can do. And also the next boss, the fourth boss, is really easy. All bosses had major changes compared with the arcade release, and also the enemies on the stages are slightly different, again mostly due to console limitations. And something good about the next boss is that on the NES version, the boss is insanely easier, and I'm gonna be explaining that on a bit. And also, as you can see, when you throw a snowball, you can get attached to it, and that's like another fastest way to move around the stage. I have used that on my side. Now, so if your run is going well and you reach this stage, this is probably the most annoying stage for all the game, floor 39, because in order to get out of this of the middle section of the screen on this stage, you need to have a snowball to jump outside of these sections. So the best way to complete this is just to keep quiet when you spawn, and then wait for the enemies to coming out. Because again, depending on your inputs is where the enemies are gonna move or whatever they are gonna be doing. So you need to be really careful with that. And also, we see this big goblin. On the arcade version, we have two of them, and they're enemies falling from the roof that you need to freeze and throw against the goblins. You cannot freeze the fire flames on the arcade version. It's something that you can do here on the NES. That's why this boss is insanely easier in this version. And also, last time we're gonna be seeing this Game Boy machine, and I got 2 crosses. That was good. So the game has 9 internal continues, like if you had 9 credits on your arcade game. And if I don't use any of them, we can see the alternative ending. I hope that I can do that. And well, since I don't have the red potion, I need to do some slight changes on my route. And also, another big difference with between this and the arcade version is that once you defeat the enemies, it doesn't matter how much items you have on the screen. And the arcade version moves you to the next stage. But here at the NES version, if there are items on the screen, when you have defeated all the enemies, you need to catch all of them. Otherwise, it's gonna take ages to the game to move you to the next stage. Here, I'm lacking from the red potion, obviously, which makes some things slightly slower, or, well, mostly slower to do. And also, for some reason, in these stages, the blue potion uses to appear a lot. But something good is that these stages are not so punishing compared with other ones, so this shouldn't be a big problem to complete. And also, if you take so long to complete the stages, there's gonna be a pumpkin ghost that is gonna appear and is gonna try to chase you and kill you. So that's a signal that you're doing the stages slow. It has appeared 2 times, but fortunately, I ended up defeating all enemies on time, so we barely saw that ghost. Mostly here, when I'm lagging the potion, is where the ghost can appear, because since my base movement is really slow, it's a bit complicated to try to don't to try to be kind of fast and avoid to ghost to making it appear. And also on the last boss, I can get all the main potions that I need, that are the red and the blue. There's another potion that I haven't mentioned, which is the green potion that just appears on specific stages, and it's mostly like a bonus because it turns your head into a balloon, and you can fly around the stage. And if you touch an enemy, the effect is gonna be the similar. It's gonna be the same, like if one of those enemies got hit by a rolling snowball. At the end, I'm gonna be able to finish this under my estimate. And also, the reason why I don't have the world record in this game, that I have been running for almost 6 years, and I have been developing a lot of strats, because the game RNG, it's really awful on the last boss, because unfortunately the last boss is full RNG based, and I have got a lot of runs, and also previous PvEs have been on world record pace until the last boss. because again the last boss is really punishing, and you're gonna see in a bit why. Last stage of the game. As you have seen, this is a really short game, and we're only having here these two stone faces. I'm gonna talk about the game plot once I complete the run. It's something really short and something that doesn't affect the run anyway, but I want to try to focus on this boss fight. So, on the NES version, this is the only fastest stage in general, because the game on the NES is slower compared with the arcade version. And also, this is easier because on any other version of the game, the roof is falling slowly after some seconds. It began falling slowly. But on the NES version, it keeps static. And also, I'm gonna try to get a trap on the bubbles that has items. In this case, that has potions. Because the most element you have on screen, the less bubbles you will have. Again, due to NES limitations. So having also a fire flame on the floor or a snowball that I haven't thrown is considered as a sprite. So the most element I have on screen, the less bubbles I'm going to be having. This is something bad because the RNG factor here is on the stuff that can spawn on the bubbles. I don't remember the exact amount of possibilities of getting an enemy. In this case, getting a small bubbling, which are the things that we are looking for. And also, I need to defeat each of these guys 10 times in a row in order to defeat them. And also, if I do individual shootings, it takes thousands of shootings to defeat the bosses, because each snowball makes like if a single shoot makes 1 point of damage, as rolling snowball does like 1024 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And we knew that because a new runner that is the actual world record holder of the game had such okay, it doesn't matter to have that. No headset, had a friend that made some reverse engineer to the game to discover some stuff that may be helpful for the runs, and just few stuff has been found on that way. But well, the time finishes once I defeat both enemies, but this is gonna be like a 21. I feel that I'm close, but the RNG factor again is with the stuff you get on the bubbles. So right now I'm not having a very good RNG because what I need are the enemies. Okay, the time is gonna finish once I defeat the other guy on the left, so be careful because that can happen at any time. Because I used to lose the count that I had about how many times I have hit this enemy. So, and okay, that's yeah. I used to defeat first the guy on the left, and then the guy on the right. But looks like I hit faster the guy on the right, anyways. So, well, 29, 21, 49. Flat. That's really interesting. And well, since I haven't used any of the continues of the game, I got the alternative ending on this game, which is a good ending. Real quick, the plot of the game is that on Faraway Land, the King's Court decided to kidnap the twin princesses Teriandina, or Puri Puri and Puchi Puchi, depending on the region and version of the game you're playing, because earlier last year, there was a remake of the arcade version called Snow Bros. Special that it was released only for the Nintendo Switch, and they used the Puri Puri and Puchi Puchi game. I have here the special edition for the Switch. Probably for a future edition, I will submit the remake because there are a lot of changes, but I haven't played the Switch version in a while. So I need to relearn. Oh well. Going back to the plot, the twin princesses got kidnapped, and then the brothers Nick and Tom trying to rescue them. They failed, so the King's Court put a snowman curse on both brothers. So they need to rescue the princesses. If you don't use any continue, if you use at least a single continue, you get the regular or bad ending, whatever you want to consider that, where you defeat evil King's Court, the princesses are saved, and then the peace is back in the kingdom. But since I haven't used any of them, I got the real ending, or well, the good ending, where you defeat the King's Court, the brothers loses the snowman curse, and they got married with both princesses, and at the same time, the peace is back in the kingdom. And well, GG's. This was everything on my side because I need to go back to work because I took a short break from work just to come here and do this because I work as a DJ and I had a party where when I suppose that I should be there, but another friend is helping me there while I'm here. So with this, I will need to go back to work. I was not expecting to work today, but I got the opportunity and we're in a good financial situation. But anyways, thanks again to the Mediocres staff working opportunity of being here. I hope this is not the last time that I can be showcased here. Also, thanks to everybody who has been watching and supporting the event, and keep tuning the marathon because we're still having a lot of amazing runs. So for now, this is everything on my side, and well, I was GhostSenpai. This was Snow Brothers. And see you, everybody. Have a nice day.